When did it become normal to romantically talk to 7 people at the same time?
The more you
Man, bro, I hate that shit. Let's talk about it. In terms of talking to multiple people at the same time, men do it, women do it. Now, who started it first? You know, I really can't say. The only reason why I would entertain multiple people at once is to not get too attached to one person. The person you talking to could be entertaining other people too. In my case, it's really a defense mechanism. I'm like, oh, if I got all these people, I don't gotta wait for nobody to respond. 'Cause that's the type of nigga I am. I know I'm obsessed over that shit. I send a message, I look 10 minutes later, I'm like, damn, no response. Damn, she must have blocked my shit. What's going on, YouTube? CDA Green here, back with another video, and today we have, if you've never been in a relationship, watch this, 2025. Now me, I've never been in a relationship per se, not on no serious adult grown person shit, you know what I'm saying? It's always been little kid shit. I've never really felt that real adult grown love, you feel me, some meaningful shit, and I'm longing for that right now, more so than I ever have. So I seen this video. It's kind of like a warning to all of us that have never been in a relationship, so it caught my eye, to say the least. Maybe y'all are the same, that's why y'all ended on this vid. If that's the case, we're going to get straight into it. So without further ado, make sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate y'all watching, and let's get straight to it.
I got my first boyfriend at the age of 22.
That's crazy. I'm 22 as well. That's like, I don't know. In this day and age, it makes you feel like being in your 20s and just now getting into a relationship, it make you feel like you late, you know what I'm saying? Like you late to the party on some shit. Well, whole time, that could be normal, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know, it's debatable. You can have little high school shit. Most people do, I feel like, but just because you have your first one at 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, that don't mean you late. Like, you know what I'm saying? You right on time if you ask me. Because you really can't rush this shit, and you waiting until you like a real grown person, and you got like, you know what I'm saying, you your own person, you got your own morals, values, and shit that you stand on. You had a little time to grow, mature, and get your, you know what I'm saying, your life right a little bit. So it ain't nothing wrong with waiting that long, I feel like. But it just is like, when you see it from society standards, it's just like, oh damn, 20s and you never did shit. Like damn, you know what I'm saying, you a loser. But whole time, nah, I don't think that's the case at all.
Had the comfort of someone's arms around me.
As someone who's never been in a long-term serious relationship, I feel like I am constantly in a state where I never feel good enough.
when you're the only person out of everyone you know who's never had a relationship,
She
you start
British?
to ask yourself a lot of questions. Is there something wrong with me? Am I doing something wrong? Will
Okay.
I be single forever?
If you're still single, there must be something wrong with you.
When did it become normal to romantically talk to 7 people at the same time?
The more you
Man, bro, I hate that shit. That's a great question, my baby. That's a great ass question. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You know, I'll just start by saying this. In terms of talking to multiple people at the same time, men do it. Women do it. We all do it. Now, who started it first? You know, I really can't say. I don't have the expertise to speak on no shit like that. But at least from my point of view, the only reason why I would entertain multiple people at once, you know what I'm saying, is to not get too attached to one person. Because I feel like if you get too attached, you know what I'm saying, when shit don't work out the way you want, you start getting a little spiteful. You know what I'm saying? That shit really, you really might take it to heart when it really might not be anything against you personally. Maybe they just found somebody else. You know what I'm saying? The person you talking to could be entertaining other people too. So in my case, it's really a defense mechanism. I'm like, oh, if I got all these people, I don't gotta wait for nobody to respond. You know what I'm saying? I'm not waiting on no text and shit. I could just go over here to the next person. And plus, when you in the early stage, you're like pursuing some shit romantically. I don't know if she was talking about in the talking stage, like in hella fucking talking stages. Because I don't think it's really nothing wrong with that in this day and age, because, you know, you just seeing what's out there and shit. But yeah, I don't feel like there's nothing wrong with that. The only reason I would do it is so I don't get too attached and I'm not like, you know what I'm saying, obsessing over one person. Because that's the type of nigga I am. I know I'm obsessed over that shit. I send a message, I look 10 minutes later, I'm like, damn, no response. Damn, she must have blocked my shit. Like, that's where my mind goes. So it ain't nothing wrong with that for real. It's like, at least as long as you're not leading nobody on and you're not being deceptive and shit. Like if you being straight up, by all means.
You think about it, the more reasons come up. It's because I'm too independent, I'm too focused on school, I'm too focused on work, my standards are too high. There's an endless list that you create for yourself. When everyone around you seems to have a relationship or relationships seem to come easy to them, your endless list of reasons why you're single just gets longer and longer. What if the problem isn't actually you? What if it's something much more minute instead?
Okay, I like how she said that a little bit. It really challenged my mentality on things like this, because before I go pointing the finger at anybody else, I tried to look at what's wrong with me first. So much so that the thing is, I'll never find fault with somebody else. Like deep down inside, even though I like to think I'm confident, I always think that I'm doing something wrong. When some shit don't go right, I'm like, oh yeah, of course it won't, because I'm, you know what I'm saying, I don't deserve that shit. Yeah, I probably did something that turned them off. Like, you know what I'm saying? I always self-deprecate in a way, which is kind of toxic, you know what I'm saying, to that point. But it's also good to have accountability, just to not go pointing the finger at everybody. Like, you can still point the finger. Just point that shit at yourself first and see if it's you. And if it ain't, oh yeah, point that finger. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing wrong with it. But yeah, what if it's not us? What could it be? Let me know something, shorty.
Hey, if you're new, I'm Christina and I make videos for people who are feeling lonely. If you're a people pleaser, overachiever, overthinker, over anything, then you're in the right place. You are an 18, 19, 20, 23, 25, maybe even 30-year-old who's never had a relationship. This will probably consume a lot of your mental capacity.
It does.
When you're surrounded by other people your age, who's on their like second boyfriend, their third girlfriend, they're moving in with their partner, they're talking about starting a family, you can't help but think, is there something I'm doing wrong? You can't help but question something.
Yo, bro, my classmates from high school, them niggas having babies and shit. Or they already have children, bro. I'm like, damn, these niggas talking about, yeah, bro, I just moved in with my girl. We just had our first son. I'm like, nigga, damn, bro. I ain't talked to a joint in years. Like, that's crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because I be bitching, you know, I be wanting to do it, but I can't even, like, make that first step half the time. I'm better at it now, a lot better. I'm talking to the person I was, like, 2 or 3 years ago, even a year ago, you know what I'm saying? But I was still making strides a year ago. But now, you know what I'm saying, I'm past that, but still, like, bro, niggas had children back then when I wasn't even doing shit. I'm like, damn, bro, what the fuck am I doing? You know what I'm saying? It just felt real bad, I ain't gonna lie. So yeah, that comparison is definitely heavy, especially when everybody else around you got partners or families that they build and you don't got shit. That's for sure.
Certain things. Is there something I'm doing wrong? Is there something that I'm missing? Will I be single forever? Because you ask yourself all these questions, you start to come up with answers. And in your head, you start to think, oh, it's because I'm too independent. It's because I'm focused too much on school. It's because I'm focused too much on my work. It's because I'm too ambitious.
I just don't think I deserve, as much as I hate to admit it, I don't think I deserve that shit. Or that I'm worthy of a relationship. Because I always doubt it. I'm like, yo, do I even look good enough? Can I take care of a woman? You know what I'm saying? Am I pleasant enough to be around? You feel me? There's always something deep down what leads back to that manifestation shit that I be trying to talk about, right? If you truly believe that you deserve that shit, you will attract it. Your energy is everything, I feel like. I haven't witnessed it to be, I mean, I probably have, but I haven't noticed it to be something like that. But I just like that mentality so much, bro. You know what I'm saying? Even if it doesn't work, it just feels good to believe. It's kind of like your energy is everything. If you believe that you will get something, you will get it. But isn't that so empowering, bro? And it's like literally no harm in trying that shit for real, I feel. So yeah, bro, I really need to, I think that's what's holding me back most. Like all of, it's really crazy because every time I think about it, all of the talking stages that I first get into with a Joan, when I first get her number or some shit, that shit always goes bad. Like it doesn't go past a certain point. Even the most recent one, you know what I'm saying? It kind of hurt. I'm like, damn, like I genuinely connected with shorty, bro. But it's like, hey, it is what it is. I understand long distance can be a thing, different priorities, life and shit. I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Be what it be. But maybe it's because I don't truly believe that I deserve or can pull this shit off. Like really be in a relationship with a Joan and take care of her. Maybe I need to shift my perspective.
I'm too intimidating. I'm too this, too that. Fill in the blank. Because you're coming up with all these sort of excuses as to why you've not found your person. Why
you stop yourself from even trying. I feel like that's what she's going to say. That was in the book I was reading, The Courage to Be Disliked. They're like, You can't do things because of all these reasons. You don't want to do these things, so you come up with all these reasons as to why you can't do them. And once they flip it on their head like that, like, it's definitely some truth to that shit sometimes, bro. Like, you write yourself off because you don't even want to try, whether it be from a fear of failure. You know what I'm saying? Because once you prove to yourself that you can't do something, that makes you feel like a loser. So in order to even have that potentially be proved to you, you're like, oh no, I can't do it because of this reason. I'm not even going to try. So I feel like that's along the lines of what she's about to say.
You're single, why something that comes so easily to everyone else is quite hard for you. This list in your head, you don't realize it at first, but it slowly starts to make you feel a little bit insecure. Like, oh, I'm going to be behind when I eventually do get in a relationship. There's going to be so many things that I don't know. I'm going to have no experience. I literally saw a TikTok the other day. I think it was like a clip from a YouTube video where they were asking, how long was your longest relationship?
What's our longest relationship?
Never been in a relationship.
Oh, ouch. Okay.
The worst. So now we know worse than dessert, worse than bad.
These are the things we worry about. When you're that.
That's what I'm worried about, bro. No cap. I'm worried about getting judged like that. But at the end of the day, if you found the right person, that won't be a thing. So if they judge you for something like that, bro, for just not being in a relationship, everything else is perfect. But just because you ain't, you know what I'm saying, ever had a relationship with anybody, now they don't want you. It's like, all right, you know what I'm saying? They kind of eliminated themselves for you. That's tough.
That guy who's never had a relationship, and you think, oh no, but you know, I research, I read up on dating and relationships and communication. Like, you watch TikToks and dating advice. Like, it's not like you're completely inept on how to manage a relationship or how to communicate. But this sort of thing makes you panic in the back of your mind, because is that what people really think? I think a lot of people who are slightly older and have never been in a relationship, I feel like we have a fear of love, or a fear of like closeness, maybe even fear of intimacy, you could say.
Have you ever been in love?
I've never been in love before. I've actually never been in a relationship. I think that as soon as someone starts liking me, I mentally can't accept it, so I kind of just run away. I just get like a very strong physical ick if someone expresses like that they're into me. I like them until they like me.
Dang.
Yeah.
Do you think there's like
it's probably insecurity
a bit of
behind
fear
that
around closeness with someone?
I think so. I think maybe I just get freaked out with the concept of attachment to someone. I grew up in Norway with my mom, and my dad lived in France. They actually were never married, but they were never together. So I don't know, maybe I've had like a weird perspective on the idea of family.
She gets the ick when someone likes her. She likes them up until they like her back. I don't want to hyperfixate on the words that she's used, like ick and like freaked out, because what she's describing, I think a lot of other people will also experience, but they won't use the word ick. I can relate to some of what she's describing. I don't get the ick if someone likes me, but I panic. Like, it's literally like, honestly, a fight or flight situation where I'm like genuinely scared. What I found interesting was in the comments, a lot of people were talking about an avoidant attachment style. There is an amazing book which does a deep dive on all the attachment styles. I'd highly recommend it, actually, especially if you're someone who's never had a relationship or someone who has like unhealthy, maybe toxic relationships. It's called Attached. I'll link it down below.
Okay.
This book, like, it's one of the books you'll read and like you get a whole new perspective on yourself. Like, you learn about you. You're reading the book and you're like, oh my God, this guy is describing me. That was what happened when I opened the book and read the avoidant attachment chapters. When you're an avoidant attached person, they are the stereotypical, hyper independent, focused on their jobs, focused on work, climbing the corporate ladder. I don't need friends. I don't need relationships. I don't want to be distracted. I just want to focus on like my work.
Now I wonder if that's out of true desire to focus on work, or if they're just saying that so that they have an excuse for not pursuing relationships. I feel like that could be a thing too. I feel like I'm the exact opposite. I don't want to fucking work. You feel me? I know I'm gonna have to, but you know what I mean? I have no interest in finding like a job, like, you know what I'm saying, at the moment. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. I have a job. I sound like a bum. I have a job. I don't mind working, but it's not something that I want to do. I'll do it, but it's not something I have the desire to do. But I'll do it because I'm not a fucking bum. You feel me? Let's get that straight. But I have no, like, that shit. Like, I'll just say I have an interest in it. I have a desire to it, but I have much more of a desire to find love, bro. Like, you feel me? Like, I've never experienced that shit for real in my life. I don't think. So that's at the forefront of my mind more so than anything else, because I feel like the reason I haven't found it is really my fault. Like, I don't even try. I don't put myself in situations to meet people. When I like someone, I don't tell them because I'm too afraid of being rejected and shit, or I think I'm gonna mess up, or I'm not good enough. You know what I mean? So I'm blocking my blessings in a way, and I just want to prove to myself that I can do it. You know what I'm saying? I need to shift my whole mentality, because there's been signs that I can, but like, even so, I still go back to this old fucking mental state, which really means I need to switch my mindset, bro. Like, I need to conquer this shit right now. That's why I wake up every day. I think about career and life shit, but then I think about, bro, I need to get some hoes, bro. No cap. You feel me? I need to really just get comfortable and unlock this new stage in my life, bro. Get in this new arc, because I've never had that. And it's because I don't believe that I can have it. I feel like that's the main thing about it. So I want to just unwrap that and, you know what I'm saying, reverse that entirely and prove to myself that, yeah, you deserve it. You can achieve it. And you're worthy. Yeah, bro. Okay.
I have a feeling if you're slightly older, not been in relationships, my guess is that you'd probably lean more avoidant, because as time goes on in your life and you're a bit more grown up now, you've graduated, you've got a job, you're focusing on yourself, maybe you've got your own place, you're like working on yourself, and you're preoccupied with all the amazing things you've got going on in your life, that you probably see relationships, and especially dating, because dating and going on first dates and then relationships are quite different. Like, I'd actually consider myself quite a good dater, because I've been on so many, like I've been speed dating so many times with, like, I've done it on my own, and then I've done it with friends, because it's always funny with friends. But then, like, in actual relationships where it's long term, I'm just with one person, I have to get really close and open up and be honest, which normally makes me panic. Like, that I have no experience with. And I have a feeling, for me, it's because of my avoidant attachment style, and because just closeness is a bit scary. Like, it doesn't feel safe in my mind.
Okay.
Maybe that's why I always panic. It just feels like something I should, like, worry about, and like, this isn't safe. Something else you probably do if you're someone who's never been in a relationship, you probably hyperfixate on your flaws. When you ask yourself,
no cap, bro. No cap. Literally. When you don't believe that you deserve a relationship, bro, you kind of fixate on the flaws to be like, oh yeah, this is why. When you feel deep down that you can achieve it, therefore you don't want to try, you're like, oh yeah, look at all these flaws I got. Why would somebody accept me with all these flaws? It's not even going to work even if I try, so I'm not going to. That's definitely a fact, bro. I be doing that shit a lot. Like, it don't even be consciously, bro. Like, I look at myself in the mirror most of the day. Like, it's bad. Every time, like, if I'm at work, bro, I don't even got pissed. I just want to go to the bathroom and look at my face. You feel me? I'm so obsessed with this shit. It's so bad. You know what I mean? Because it's really crazy. Because I feel like when I'm just operating and existing like I am now, like watching this video, I feel worthy. I feel attractive. But when I look in that mirror, shit tell me otherwise. You know what I mean? Why is it like that? Why is that a thing? Is that a sign that I have internal confidence and that I shouldn't go off how I look? You know what I mean? Obviously, you should look presentable, but don't over fixate on that shit. I feel like acknowledge it once. Oh, yeah, I look good today. I look real good. And then go about your business, because, like I said, I feel attractive. I feel worthy. I feel like I'm deserving of this shit. But as the day goes on, I keep looking and looking and looking. I'm like, nah, you know, look at that little thing. Look at that pimple. Nah, bro, they not going to mess with that. The hoe's not going to like you for that, bro. And that's real unhealthy. I hate that I'm like that. And she really just read me like a book.
certain questions. Why am I still single? Why has no one asked me out? Why does no one ever look at me like how they look at her? Why does no one ever compliment me?
See, bro, that can't even be a thing for men. Like, for girls, that's a thing. Like, why hasn't no one asked me out? For sure, because niggas gonna ask girls out, bro. Like, that's so common. But girls asking men out, it happens, but it's definitely less common. So you can't use that as the reason as to why you haven't found any love as a man. It's like, oh yeah, I'm not attracted because no one's approached me. It's like, bro, girls don't approach men. It's not commonplace, bro. Just because they don't approach you doesn't mean they might not like. Doesn't mean that they don't like you. It could mean it, but it's not a good sign, because some women just shy and they're not gonna let you know. They're gonna throw their signs. You know what I'm saying? Like we said in the last video. So yeah, as a man, you gotta go out there and test that shit out. Like, you gotta go, you know what I'm saying, approach like 1,000 women. Like, this shit like a challenge, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I was watching my nigga Taekwondo. He said he approached 1,000 women in 1 week. Like, bro, that's an insane level. I'm struggling to approach 3 in 1 week, bro. Like, that's crazy. So only once you've tried it and you've gotten 1,000 no's is when you could be like, okay, maybe there's something wrong. And even then, don't give up, bro, because all you need is one yes. Once you find that one person, like, you golden. And when you really think about it, it's not supposed to be easy. You're supposed to be like, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to find your soulmate on some shit, bro. Like, is soulmates even a thing? I don't know. And if it is, then it makes sense that you would get rejected so many times, or shit wouldn't work out so many times, because you only got one soulmate. You're only looking in your immediate area. There's like billions. There's 8 billion people in the world. I think, bro, half of that is women. So 4 billion women, bro, for me. So it makes sense that I get a lot more no's than yes. You feel me? I'm coping hard as shit. Let's keep watching the vid.
I never get comments on my Instagram pictures that say like, oh, stunning or beautiful, gorgeous. Why is it only ever people that I don't like that approach me? Why is it the people that I'm not interested in that ask me out? When you ask yourself these questions, you start to create a list. I'm going to call it like the endless list. It's like an endless list of reasons, excuses as to what's wrong with you. I have never had a boyfriend. I've never experienced love, and I've never done anything romantic at all, and I feel behind. Most of the people I know have had some experience and I've had nothing. I fear I don't even know what to do if I was in a relationship. I feel like this was me for a really long time. Like, I feel so experienced. I've not done anything romantic. I wouldn't know what to do. It's weird because you have this endless list.
And I'll say it like this, right? In terms of never having relationship experience, I feel like it's a lot worse as a man. Because as a man, you're naturally supposed to lead and take the dominant role in a dynamic with a woman. So if you're not experienced with some shit, say you never had a relationship or you never cracked buns, you know what I'm saying? Approaching a woman who has, it's kind of like, that shit I feel like a little ass boy. Like, I'm behind. I should really have my shit together. You feel me? I'll be thinking that shit sometimes, but it's also like, you feel me? From a girl's standpoint, it's kind of okay. Like, I wouldn't even mind that. I'm like, oh yeah, let me show you the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know a thing or two type shit. But I can't do that for being in a relationship because I've never been in one. Not a serious one, for real. Like, yeah, just shit hasn't happened. So yeah, I feel like it's different for men and women, bro. Like, I don't think niggas care like that. I'll be honest. Maybe girls do, and they'll obsess over it themselves, and they might self-sabotage. Men will too, most definitely, because it's a lot worse. But I don't think it's that deep for girls, bro. If any of y'all girls watching, bro, that shit not that deep. You know what I'm saying? As long as, you know what I'm saying, I'm interested in you, we good. You know what I'm saying? We can work it out. But I'm aware of the fact that part of the problem is that girls think that they're not worthy of that shit too. Just like we all are. But girls, like, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all good. Y'all good in my book, for real. But yeah, me as a nigga, I'm cooked. You know what I'm saying? I feel like bad about that shit. I don't know what to do in a relationship. And it's really crazy because, like, I feel like even a girl who's never been in a relationship and a man who's never been in a relationship, if they got into a relationship, the nigga who never been in a relationship might give the girl who never has an ick. I don't know, bro. I feel like that shit might be the case because it's like, you're a man, you're supposed to take control, lead. It's like, damn, I can't do it though. I ain't never been in a relationship. So I feel like that dynamic would be bad. Even worse if a man had never been in a relationship and got into one with a girl who has. I feel like that would be crazy.
Of reasons why you've not had a relationship, and the list gets longer and longer, and you kind of flesh out this list. You really believe the list. And what I've noticed is if you ask yourself certain questions, your brain will just come up with answers. For example, if I said, oh yeah, think about, like right now, have a think about why global warming is at an all-time high. You can probably tell me like, not enough recycling, too much landfill, not enough electric cars. There's still so many like petrol cars, gas cars, diesel. You'd be able to come up with like a million answers. And then if I told you, oh yeah, sit on that question for the next few months, for the next few years, you'd probably come up with more and more answers as to why climate change is so bad. You'd come up with you'd probably start to research it. You'd ask yourself questions. You'd probably start to look on TikTok as well, because you're going to like ruminate on it. Just like how you can think and ruminate on climate change and why climate change is so bad. You probably unconsciously chosen to ruminate on why you're still single, and that's why you have such like insecurity about it, or so many questions.
If it's constantly on your mind, you're always like, yo, why is this still a thing for me? You know what I'm saying? It could be these old things, but what if it's this? Like, it's only natural. And that makes it even worse for you to make that first step, because you got all these reasons why you're not in a relationship. So it's like, it makes it seem that much more unfathomable that you could get into one.
Because that's your question of choice to ruminate on. And what I like to say is like, If you ask a bad question, you're going to get bad answers. But if you ask a good question, you'd get good answers. I feel like a more empowering question or a more like confidence boosting question to ask yourself is like, why am I such a good person? Why would I be a great person to go out with? Why would I be a good partner? Why would someone be lucky to be with me? It sounds cringe. Like even as I'm saying it, I'm like, that sounds like proper weird. Like I hope no one downstairs can hear me. But like if you sit and ruminate on all the negative parts of you or all the parts of you that are too much because you're too hardworking, too independent, too intimidating. If you ruminate on that too much, you're gonna believe it and it's gonna become valid in your mind. It's gonna be so valid that you're like, oh yeah, this is the reason why I'm single. Like you're gonna lead with that.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I feel like, you know what I mean? In that regard, if you tell yourself something long enough, you'll start to believe it. The thing with me, I tell myself all these bad things so much that when I try to overwrite them or override them with the good things, the bad just kicks in to the point where I can't even get the good shit to stick. So I'm not even in the position to start believing them because I automatically go back to the bad thing. It's like, oh yeah, I could be it. No, you this. You know what I'm saying? Like you suck, bro. You know what I'm saying? You a hoe. You don't deserve shit. I be telling myself that. So I feel like, yeah, the more you tell yourself something, you'll start to believe it. But I find it hard to even get the good stuff going in my mind because, like I said, the bad stuff just, it seems more realistic and believable because of my current situation.
It's going to be so valid that you're like, oh yeah, this is the reason why I'm single. Like you're going to lead with that. Versus if you lead with like a more empowering question, why am I a great person? Why would someone be lucky to be with me? And you ruminate on that, you're going to then lead with a more positive aspect. Another common thing that I've noticed that we maybe all have, those of us that have never had a long-term relationship, is that sometimes we think being single is better than settling. For example, give this video a thumbs up if you've ever thought like, oh, there's no one around me that I know that's like quite on my level. Like no one's quite good enough. No one meets my standard. I'm too intimidating for everyone. Like, I just don't think anyone would like handle me. I do believe being single is better than settling. However, I think that we have like really disproportionate fear of settling. I think settling to different people means different things. To me,
it's like, yeah, because you could settle 100%, you could settle 50%, which means you compromise on certain things, but other things you don't. Or you compromise on more things. You know what I'm saying? You don't compromise on very little. It all depends on, you know what I'm saying, like your standards, right? Like you can only go so far. Like say, for example, a physical appearance rating. If you want 10s, bro, and you settle for an 8, it's a lot worse. You feel a lot worse settling for a 6 than an 8, right? That's what I feel like she means by we all got different scales of settling and shit, which is definitely true. But some people don't want to settle at all. They're like, yo, I can't settle at all, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything needs to be perfect. But yeah, it's hard. You're going to be hard pressed to find a person that meets all these standards, bro.
I've learned after reading an incredible book called How to Not Die Alone by Logan Ury. In her book, she really taught me that settling isn't like going out with a person like way, way, way below your level of standard and they're unemployed, they're in terrible health, they don't look after themselves, they've got terrible hygiene. Settling, from what she described in the book and like what I now see settling as, is like you find someone who is really amazing, like they actually really inspire you, they're a lovely person, they're so funny. There's a few areas where you're not 100% compatible and your instinct might be like, oh, well, it's not going to work because they have different beliefs around like private education versus public education. Maybe they have different political beliefs. When there's like a minor incompatibility, I now see that as like, this could be an area where you can actually communicate and work on things rather than just completely abandon this person, abandon this relationship. But I've noticed for sure we're hyper selective now. And I feel like the list of things that qualifies as a red flag is just getting lower and lower. Like a red flag used to be you show up to the date late, you're rude to the waitress, you speak about women on the date in a derogatory way. It almost used to be like red flags reflect your values and things that are like non-negotiable. But now
it's certain like, yo, if you wear this pair of shoes, if your shoes has got like a speck of dirt, that's a red flag. Give me the ick. I can't fuck with you. It's like, damn, bro. Like, when did we become so childish? You feel me? Superficial.
I feel like red flags are almost becoming a bit gimmicky, and like anything can be a red flag. Wearing the wrong outfit could be a red flag. Having like dirty trainers could be a red flag. I've realized you have to kind of differentiate kind of a red flag and a non-negotiable from just like a flaw that someone has, because we all have flaws, but we never sit and think about what are the flaws that I'd happily accept that my partner has, and what are some of the red flags that I just will not put up with. And this is how I now see settling. Like, I know my partner will have flaws because I have flaws, but I now have to think, okay, these are the flaws I'm happy to settle for. Like, I'm happy to settle for maybe dirty trainers, because who doesn't have dirty trainers in the UK? It is literally raining outside. Or a flaw I'm completely happy to accept is not having a work-life balance, because I don't have a work-life balance. Completely okay with my partner having flaws, and they could be the flaws that I have, they could be different flaws. I just accept, and I'm happy to settle for flaws. Any red flag is a future argument, is how I see it. Like, a red flag for me, something that could be a future argument, is like someone expecting me to like be more chilled and to work less. Like that, like we'd have an argument over that, because that's just like my value. One of my values is just like to fulfill my purpose. Like I find purpose and joy in working a lot. I really do. I have a healthier balance with it now. But if someone told me like, you need to rest more, you're always too busy, you're working too much, have your weekend off, like we would have beef. Videos online will tell you to like script and manifest your perfect partner and write a list of all the things that you want them to have. But I think equally, just so your expectations are realistic, it's helpful to write a list of all the flaws that you're okay with them having. That being said, I don't want you guys, especially if I know some of you guys are slightly younger, do not put relationships on a pedestal. Relationships are not a prize. And the reason why is because not all relationships are created equal. Like, you might look at some relationships and be like, oh wow, their relationship's perfect. I see comments like that on TikToks, like, wow, goals, I wish this was me, I wish a boy would treat me this way. A relationship is not a prize. Please bear in mind, any relationship that you go into, you are bringing yourself with it. Like, your life, your tone of voice, your thinking, they all come into the relationship with you. You cannot leave yourself behind. If there's a certain part of you that feels like you're always self-sabotaging and you ruin things before they can get good, you always shut down things that are going well, bear in mind, if you had your goals relationship, goals boyfriend, goals girlfriend, you are bringing yourself with it. Like, sometimes the dream relationship is not the prize at all, because if it got handed to you right now, you actually wouldn't have the secure attachment, the open communication, the healthy boundaries, the ability to handle flaws and understand the difference between flaws and red flags. You wouldn't be able to handle it, and it wouldn't work out. The real prize, in my view, is not the relationship. The real prize is the person that you become in the process of trying to get a relationship. Everyone has a desire for a relationship. I know it's a bit embarrassing to admit that, like, oh, I want a relationship, I want a boyfriend. As a human, it's literally in our DNA. Like, even if you don't want to admit it and you don't want to be like embarrassing and be like, oh, I do want a boyfriend. Like, we all at our core do want.
I want a girl. I want a girl, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Simple as that. I don't got no shame in saying that shit, bro. No shame in my game. You feel me? I want some lovey-dovey shit, nigga. No bullshit.
Love and companion around us, whether that's partner, family, friends. But I really don't see a boyfriend as the prize. Like, I see me becoming a better version of myself that can communicate honestly. She is the prize. Like, that is the prize. Because she's the person that can handle the relationship well. She's the person that's not going to sabotage and self-sabotage and ruin it before it even gets anywhere. And on this note, not all relationships are created equal. Honestly, speaking to some people that I've known from like way back to high school, a lot of the things I hear are people complaining and like complaining about things. They're unhappy with their relationship. They're not happy with the treatment they're getting. They wish they could leave, but they stay because they're too scared to leave. Please don't think that everyone else is having a better time than you just because they're in a relationship, because that could not be further from the truth. There are people so uncomfortable being single that they would rather be in a terrible relationship than be on their own. If you're happy with your own company,
it ain't that
you
bad
have
for me.
something that so many people.
Like, I'm good with being alone, you know what I'm saying, or single, because it's like, you know, it's how it started, you know what I'm saying? You had to learn to get used to it. I'm used to it by now, but I wonder what that other shit would be like, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just because it seems, it's like she said, like, the actual, like, getting, or the relationship isn't really the prize, I guess. It's what you get out of it, you know what I'm saying? The love, the growth as a person, building a connection with somebody, you know what I'm saying? yeah, that's what's really valuable from it, I feel like. So yeah, I want to experience that. I want to experience a good relationship. I want a good relationship, not just any relationship.
People don't have, which is liking yourself. Like, you like your own time. Many people don't have that, and to fill that void, they have a terrible, not flaws, but they settle for red flags. So they're having constant argument. There are so many hardworking, ambitious, driven people that I feel like they don't realize they self-sabotage all of their hard work before they can even get started. And I made a video all about like my experience with this and tips and stuff. I'm gonna link it here.
Have you ever?
Damn, that vis ended quick as shit. Shorty, no outro? I guess I'll make one myself. Right? So basically what I got from that video, what I surmised from it is to, you know, stop having them negative self-thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Stop letting them control your actions. Stop making excuses. Just be for real. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you want a relationship, but you don't think you could get one, just be for real with it and make efforts to get it. Anyway, stop telling yourself all that negative stuff. You gotta shift your mindset to some more positive shit so that you will be enabled to act out on the desires that you have. You know what I mean, bro? I'm starting to realize everything is really just connected to your mind state. That nigga Young Don, bro. Yo, I've been watching that nigga videos heavy, bro. Like, no bullshit. It be in the back of my mind all the time, right? You think, oh yeah, I don't think she'll date me because I don't have enough money. She'll probably think I'm not good looking enough. We're probably not compatible. It's like everything is just an assumption that you make. You know what I mean? It's just an assumption that you make. In terms of sabotage your relationships, I can't quite speak to that because I've never been in one like we established. But just in terms of making that first approach to eventually build into a relationship. So me stepping to somebody, it all has to do with your mindset. Probably even being in a relationship has to do with your mindset, because at the end of the day, we often let our thoughts dictate our actions when really your actions, they should dictate your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't rely on how you feel all the time to do some shit you know you need to do or you know you want to do. You know what I mean? You got to flip it on its head. And after you do it and see the results, you can surmise things from that. You could be like, okay, I got this result. This must mean this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you start to build that proof. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't rely on your assumptions. You actually get real proof in the real world. And I feel like that's a lot more healthy than just like staying in your head with this shit. So yeah, bro, moral of the story, get out your head, start living this shit. You know what I'm saying? Try to conquer your mind. That's the most important thing. That's the only thing holding us up and shit. You know what I mean? So I feel like once we do that, truly we're unstoppable. And I'm on my journey to do that right now. So if that message or this video at all resonated with you, I hope you liked it. You know what I'm saying? If you did, make sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe. Thank y'all for watching. Let me get up out of here, and I'll catch you on the next video. Love y'all. Peace.